In this video, we are going to take a look at our new programming environment that we will use with our Java labs. So what you will see in this particular Canvas module is you will have different labs or assignments. It will say Xylab Canvas Submission. What that means is that we have provided you an IDE in Xylabs, but the directions and the submissions of everything is going to be here in Canvas. And so this is an example of the first lab. What I am going to show you is the environment that you're going to be working in within your Zybook. So you will access your Zybook separately. If I choose the Zybook Chapter 7, you're going to see it looks a whole lot different because we don't have a lot of the learning in the Zybook. We have just spaces for you to conduct your labs. There is some learning that you will be doing or some additional readings, but a lot of it is just these lab workspaces. Now, depending on how your instructor has set this up, you may have a workspace and then you'll have individual assignments, or your instructor might decide to use one workspace where you place everything. I'm going to go ahead into this Java workspace. It is marked optional because it's not an assignment that we are going to submit for grading. Also notice everything that's a Canvas submission, and they should all say Canvas submission, means that you're going to work in this environment, but the work will not be submitted for grading through the lab. When you first load the environment, you'll get this loading development environment, or there might be a button in the middle of your screen that you need to click on in order to load your environment. But you're going to get a screen that looks like this. On the left-hand panel, there is our Explorer, and that has all of our files that we could create. You can open and close the Explorer with this button on the left. You will have your coding window in the middle. You will have the Run button here on the right-hand side. I'll show you that in a few minutes. But what I really like is that we can open this in a new tab, and we can use a little bit more screen real estate, so to speak. So it's going to be nice to have a little bit more space to work with on our screen. This environment that we're using is called Visual Studio Code. It is a professional IDE. When we take a look at this environment, you can resize this window and etc., or you can just close the file down. We are going to take a look at this code here in a minute, but the Run button up here on the top right-hand side, we click on it. It opens up a terminal. And I can resize that so then we can see the output below our program. And it is still thinking about running, apparently. Let me go ahead and execute it again. There we go. I interrupted it so it didn't print. So it's printing hello world. And so it's printing what I told it to print on the screen. So let's take a look and break down this program just a little bit, because this is going to be our new programming language and working in this integrated development environment. So if I ever mention IDE, that's what that integrated development environment is. This is a Java program, and every Java program starts with capital main, and it starts with a class, and all classes are named with a capital. The default one that we set up is main. As you begin programming, I would probably put a comment here at the end of the last curly brace so that you remember that that belongs to the main class. As you get more experienced with coding, you won't need to do that. Notice that Java does use curly braces. You have a beginning curly brace after the main class, and you have an ending curly brace for it. Java uses both indentation and the curly braces to designate code blocks. You also have the main method. We know the difference between the main class and the main method by the naming. The main method is named with lowercase main, and that is required. You must have this line of code in your programs in order for the compiler to know where to look. And that will be a line of code that you will sometimes copy from one beginning code to another if you're restarting a project. So let's take a look at just a couple of things here. If I use a print statement, that is synonymous to using the put string to output in Coral. So what I just did there would be what we would do in Coral, something like this, ignoring the fact that I did not type it exactly correct. Okay, so put hello world to output is going to be synonymous to the what we call the print statement in Java. Notice that it uses system.out, and that's telling it to output here to the terminal. Now, if I run a second line of code, please notice that you also have comments that are the same. The forward slashes in Java are comments, just like they are in Coral. On this second statement, I have the ln after the word print. What's the difference between print and print ln? You're actually not going to see it very well on this screen. The difference is that print ln adds a new line character at the end, like we would do in Coral with the /n. That's our new line character. If I put that new line character in now at the end of the print statement, notice how in the output down here it's going to be printed on 2 different lines instead of 1 line. And so when you use print ln, it automatically puts that statement in. I prefer to use print ln. You'll hear it called print line or print lin. It's you'll hear different people kind of pronounce it differently. But you can see that it automatically puts in that escape sequence. Okay, so I kind of like to use the print ln in Java. The other thing that I want to mention on this screen is how you will download and submit your work. So when you go to download your work, if you right click, you can download a copy of that, and it downloads it and opens it up. And I'm on a Mac, so it opens it up in my text edit. That's the file that you will submit to your instructor. Your instructor may have you rename this. Make sure that you also add the course comment if the instructor is asking you to do that, okay? As most instructors will, okay? So let's kind of just review real quick. This integrated development environment is called Visual Studio Code. It is a professional IDE. This particular version might not have all the bells and whistles of the actual IDE, but it's pretty close. And when you are working in this environment here, you're going to have your text window on the left. You can open and close that. That's called the Explorer. And I said text window, but it's actually your file window. On the right, you have the window where you're going to enter your code. That's actually the text window. But please notice that the file has to be named .java and for it to know that it's a .java file. And then you have your run button and you have your terminal. When you go to submit, you will download the file. You will also take a screenshot. And your instructor will give you different directions. Some instructors will tell you to screenshot the whole entire code and the output window. But as our codes get more complicated, you might not be able to output or take the entire code. Your instructor might just have you output or screenshot the output window rather than both. So when you go to submit, you'll have to take that screenshot and save it so that you will submit both your .java file and your screenshot of the output window. Back in your Zybook, we do want to show you another thing. If your instructor has created a lab instead of just using the workspace, then it's going to look the same in terms of that environment. You'll click on Start the VSCode. But what's going to happen is you're going to be submitting a screenshot of your code, and you will submit your main.java or the .java file. But in this environment, you're also going to see the Submit for Grading button when they've created it as a lab. That is not optional. That Submit for Grading does not submit for grading, and it doesn't really give you any feedback. What it does, however, do is it keeps track of your progress. And so if you ever have problems, it's just kind of like you did with the auto-graded labs. Every time you submit for grading, it's going to take a screenshot of the progress that you have made, and that might be helpful to your instructor. And so just know, even though this says submit for grading there, it's not going to actually submit for grading. You guys will need to go in and do the download file and take the screenshot as your instructor has indicated that you should do. That should wrap up this video on how to use your integrated development environment.